Hello, pumpkins! Welcome to my channel! I know that several people have said that they found me brand new for the first time through pop culture talking about tarot right now, through Cecil, who's a tarot reader who I admire a great deal, so welcome. I am trying to reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2021. It is an ambitious goal, but it would really help me if you did subscribe. It really does help with my algorithm to get my channel out there. I really love doing YouTube as a hobby, and I would love to see it grow. Again, if you're new, you may not know how things work on my channel, so I show the cards one at a time, and the reason why I don't do a split screen is because right now I only have one camera and a laptop that only has 3 USB outlets. One is for the microphone, one is for the camera that's stuck to the wall, one is for the ring light. So I show my face and I show you the cards one at a time. Eventually I will have a split screen set up and 2 cameras. I'm just not there yet. So I am taking donations for my electronic funds. Wink wink, nudge nudge. But yeah, it'll happen eventually. We'll get there. I am having a sale for the month of June on private readings. If you would like to book a private reading, they are all 25% off. You can go to my website, www.carolineironwool.com. Just click on book a reading, click on whichever time is best for you, and you can have a private reading with me. There's been a lot of talk about consent and tarot, and I plan on releasing a video, I'm hoping Thursday, about consent and tarot, and we'll talk about it then, but I thought, what is the least offensive thing that I can do a tarot reading on? I'm going to do a tarot reading on an inanimate object, a building. So this is a tarot reading on a building. I'm doing a tarot reading today on the Cecil Hotel, which gained notoriety after the death of Alyssa Lamb. A lot of things have happened at that hotel, so I can't talk about this hotel without giving a bit of a content warning. So in this, I am going to be talking a little bit about Alyssa Lamb. I'm not going to be doing a tarot reading on her, but I am going to be doing some speculating, which from an ethical standpoint, what's the difference? We'll get into that on Thursday, but that does include talks of mental health and talks of medication and stuff associated with mental health and you know, the loss of life. I have to be careful what I say on YouTube about demonetization, but we'll see what happens. That also means that talking about Skid Row and you know, homelessness and substance stuff and all sorts of issues about that, which I know are sensitive. So if these are sensitive issues to you, I do recommend that maybe you skip this video and check out one of my other videos. The deck I'm using today is the Gilded Tarot by Ciro Marchetti. Ciro is one of my favorite tarot artists. He is so sweet. I'm not sponsored by him at all. I follow him on Instagram, and he just seems lovely and humble, and he's a talented artist. This is a very good deck for beginners, and I will leave a link to that below. So before we get started in this, I do want to talk about my speculations about the Alyssa Lamb case. I know that there were a lot of theories going on the internet, and that was kind of making things worse for the investigators. So the case is closed. I typically don't talk about recent true crime that's serious. I mean, if you want to know like who stole your bike, I don't mind doing a reading on that, but when it comes to like the loss of life, that's an open case, that's usually not something that I look into. On a case-by-case basis, I look at that. But I want to talk about Alyssa Lamb just before we get started, and what kind of I think is going on in connection with the hotel and Alyssa. So Alyssa Lamb's death was ruled to be accidental, and I do believe that that's what happened. I think, in my speculation, not my psychic sense, that the hotel was lying about the level of security that they had. Probably the doors were left unlocked by somebody going for a smoke break. They probably were, the water tank probably was left you know, unlocked. These are dangerous things. This is negligence, but there wasn't the evidence for the negligence for the case. But yeah, I do think that a lot of the negligence does fall on the hotel for this. there was talk about Alyssa's phone and why that was never found. And my thinking of that is that she was a budding photographer, and she, or amateur photographer at least, and loved to post on her blog about photography. So being in a new city, my thinking is that she wanted to get to the top of the top level to take a photo of the city. She wasn't paying attention to safety, crawled up the ladder, and her phone dropped, ground below, shattering and breaking. They said, well, why did nobody find her phone? Well, Skid Row can be a, how do I say this respectfully, colorful area, an electronic device falling on the ground when you have people who are desperate and making desperate decisions about survival. I think that one of the residents, is that a fair word to say for Skid Row, of the area picked up the phone, probably trying to sell it, took it to a pawn shop. They're like, yeah, this thing's broken, we can't sell it, and it got thrown in the trash. That's what I assume happened. That, to me, just makes a lot of sense logically about what happened to her phone. So, no, I don't think that there was a cover-up or anything like that. I think the phone dropped, got broken, and, was just lost in the shuffle. And nor do I think the phone will ever be uncovered. I think that what happened to Alyssa was a tragedy, but it was an accident. I think that, yeah, she did have some serious mental health stuff going on with her bipolar disorder. It's tragic that she, went off of her. What happened to Alyssa was a tragedy, and I think that, we need to respect what the findings were and respect the family and not be trying to delve too much into this. So that's what I have to say about that. Now, there was talk of all these coincidences that happened around the hotel, and that's kind of something that's a little bit different that I want to look into. So, here is a bit of a tarot reading on that. All right. Okay. So the cards I have here, we have the Two of Swords, the Moon reversed. This actually surprises me a little. We'll get into that. The Ten of Cups, the Devil card. This does not necessarily mean the actual devil, but we're going to get into that. And the Tower card. This totally fits with what my thoughts are. So, all right. Now we also have, I'm just going to pull a little bit more on this. Just want to make things really clear. Okay. And then I also have the Page of Pence and the Seven of Pence reversed. All right. So, when you have a lot of coincidences happening around a certain thing, and there tends to be a lot of the same kind of stuff happening, and these patterns, sometimes they are just coincidences, because coincidences happen. But when you got a lot of spiritual energy going on, sometimes you can get a lot of coincidences. And this is kind of like synchronicity, and usually this is super positive. One of my all-time favorite books, and I will leave a link to that below, is called The Celestine Prophecy. Easy read. It changed my life. Love this book, so I'll leave a link to that. But it does talk about the, when we're on the right path, that often these synchronicities happen. So, you think of a friend, or you find something that reminds you of a friend, and then the friend calls you, or you bump into them the next day, or little things like that are just kind of this hint that you're on the right path, or you meet someone and you're friends with them for years, and then you find out that before you met, you actually worked in the same building at the same time, which is actually what happened to me yesterday. But so there's a lot of coincidences that can be tied to that kind of like spiritual realm, and when you're on the right path, you tend to have more of these coincidences happen. But that can also happen in the opposite direction, that when something is really leading in a bad direction, that there can be a lot of these coincidences happening as well. So typically with the Devil card, I read that as being like fear. And there's a lot of fear that's associated with, and I think that the fear perpetuates more fear. And so the more that there are stories about the Cecil Hotel, the more people want to arrive there and visit there and see it as this destination. And there's a ton of stuff that's happened beyond Ms. Lamb's passing. The Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez, apparently stayed there for a bit during the height of his activity and disposed of some deceased people in the dumpsters behind there. I've heard that there are associations with the Black Dahlia there. There are tons of other crimes that take place there. There are a lot of overdoses there. So this is a plot of land, and some of that has to do with just being near Skid Row, and some of that is what the building is attracting. So the fact that this building looked light and shiny and pretty to a person who was suffering from some mental illness and wasn't able to control that and was going down and I'm not saying that people who have mental illness are dark or anything like that. Please don't take my words like that. But that, she had some heavy stuff going on in her life and was attracted to kind of that negative stuff going on. So what it feels like to me is there is kind of this like vortex of negativity and yuckiness and death. And in me saying that, I'm not speaking death over anything. I'm saying that there's nasty energy associated with the Cecil, and it's not just all happenstance coincidence. And I think that is fair to say. So yeah, I do think that there is some sort of vortex going on there. So the star card here is the only one that kind of doesn't make sense in this whole thing, because the star card is often about hope. And I don't think there's a whole lot of, and especially looking at what's going on here, a whole lot of hope going on with this building. Yeah, so the star card kind of confuses me in this, because it does look that's kind of, so look, in this there could be a positive outcome that comes out of all of this. And that's kind of what I want to focus on, and I think that surrounded by all these negative cards here, that it could have been about the hope that was built into this hotel. So it was started on hope. That this was founded on, wanting this to be like this swanky, snazzy, downtown LA monument, and that there was supposed to be this picture of what Hollywood and what LA could have been, and all the people who come there with all these dreams. So I think that represents kind of like the genesis of this hotel. However, everything else around here kind of sucks. The Page of Pentacles, I think, represents the new owners. I know I did watch the documentary, and there are new owners that are that have taken over the building, and I think they took it over, and it was obviously people are going to make an investment in a hotel. They're not doing it for their the good of their health. This was to do with money. So they bought this building thinking that this was going to cash in. And there were just, so much red tape. The neighborhood, there's just so much stuff going on around this, which I think is the moon reversed of like the practical, all this crap going on, that it's not turning a profit, which is this. That Seven of Pence reversed is often about just like your investment not paying off, and not getting your hard work not paying off, not getting the outcome that you wanted. Ten of Cups reversed. So when this is upright, this is about like a happy home and coming home and having this like beautiful life and this beautiful happiness. And we got the Ten of Cups reversed. So this is about things, strife within families, strife within, everything that happens. And I think that this is representative of the hotel. That it just really, I don't think this is a fixable situation right now. I don't think that I talk about the idea of the vortex, and I don't know what other word to use for that. I don't think that it started off as being like that the ground was cursed or anything like that. I think it started off with great intentions, and that it just kind of like started to go downhill to the point that it became this spiritual scar that is at this point it looks like not healable. The Two of Swords this is about conflict. So I think what we're going to have happen here is some conflict between the new owners trying to turn a profit out of this, and the city and the laws. And so this looks to me like a court battle of trying to have this be that profit, and that just not working. Ten of Swords. I think that the Cecil Hotel is going to be coming to an end. And we also have the Tower. We're looking at the destruction of the Cecil, and I think that this is a landmark, and there are reasons that it could be saved, but I think that with a combination of the building being left in disrepair for so long, with the neighborhood that it's in, I think that you could be looking at this building coming to its demise, whether that's through like a fire, or whether it's through demolition of the building being condemned. I don't think that this is a building that has a long future in the history. I think we're looking at it being condemned, and some of that's tragic and some of that's good. Like, let's just get it gone. But I think the land itself has become scarred by everything that has happened on it. And I mean, the city of LA isn't going to hire a bunch of mediums and spiritual people to close that. I would like to see that happen. This is going to be a whole lot more than just waving a bundle of sage. This is going to take a whole lot of skilled practitioners who know what they're doing to, after the building has been demolished, to shut that down. 22 is coming to me. It would take 22 mediums, talented psychics to be able to do that. Now, I don't consider myself a medium or a psychic. Those just aren't words I'm comfortable with. But talented practitioners who've been doing this a long time, who know their stuff, who've got really good chops, to kind of unscar the land. And it would also take the destruction of the building to have something else put on that land. And I think that there is potential for good to come from that, and maybe that's the star. Potential for good to come from that land, with some hope of like what that was set there for. So what I would love to see is when this building does get torn down, and when the land is cleansed, of something being built to service that community, and to service maybe mentally ill people, or service young women. So something maybe in honor of Alyssa Lamb. I think that would be really beautiful. Can we get something beautiful out of this really terrible history? And I would like to think so. Other people may disagree with me. Maybe that's just me as an optimist, but that's what I would like to see happen. So here's kind of what I'm looking at going on right now. New investors did not get the... new investors got this thinking that they were going to get rich off this. It is not the moneymaker that they thought it was going to be. They are going to be fighting with the city to salvage the building. Because of all of the death and destruction and drugs and all the nasty stuff that's happened around there has been this scarring of the land. I'm hesitant to use the word vortex, because that's, it's not really a word that I would use a lot, but yeah, there's just ugh. Can we call it a ugh? Is that, or maybe even like ugh, if that works. Can we make that a word for this? I hope so. Yeah, I think that there has been all the fear, and the reputation has just kind of snowballed, and it's become a place of like fear and evil, and not so nice. I think that what really needs to happen is looking at practical means to begin with. So practical means being like the safety of the building, the safety of the residents. I do think that we are looking at the building being demolished. There's this is going to have a negative effect on people who are involved in that, people who work there. They're going to take this home to their family, and it's going to feel really gross. And people who stay there are just like, it's traumatic and it's contagious. Yeah, if you want to fix the land, because I always want to see, like, when I give tarot readings, I'm always kind of like, okay, this is the situation. How can we have the best income? What are the blocks to having the best the best outcome? What are the blocks to stopping us from getting the best outcome? And so the best outcome that I would see happen is 22 really talented practitioners doing some healing on this land. It's going to take a hell of a lot more than just waving around a bundle of sage, and fixing this land and then rebuilding some sort of center that would be positive and help people in that Skid Row community. We're not going to solve the problem of Skid Row just by building one building, but maybe that can be dedicated to the memory of Alyssa Lamb. That can be something that is that something positive can come from that. Yeah, so that is what I see. That is my reading on the Cecil Hotel. Yeah, started off great intentions. It turned to shit, and I'm hoping that great intentions can come from this after. Yeah, I don't think that this building has a long future ahead of it. I think it's looking either at destruction by fire or demolition. I don't think that this building's going to be around much longer. It's certainly not going to be around as a money-making thing. I think that this is this needs to be something that's for the people and not for cash. I think that greed has been a big part of what has turned this this situation ugly. Okay, so that is my reading on the Cecil Hotel. If you would like to book a private reading for yourself, you can do so at the website below, www.carolineironwheel.com. And like I said, I am having a sale for the month of June, 25% off all services, so you can go ahead and book that. If you found value in this reading and you would like to support this channel, you can do so by buying me a coffee or a tea, or buying my puppy Merlin a T-R-E-A-T, I can't say the word because he's right over there, at the link below. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please do like, please do subscribe. Like I said, I want to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2021. If no one has told you today, I love you, I am grateful you're here, and I care. So thank you for being a part of my community. Please take care, and I will see you later. Bye, pumpkins.